Hi, welcome to the Pearls and Polish podcast. Hi, welcome to the Pearls and Polish podcast. My name is Rachel. I'm your host, coming to you from just outside California. Hi, welcome to the Pearls and Polish podcast. I'm your host, Rachel, coming to you from just outside Sacramento, California, along with my chaotic co-host, Sabine, who's my 4-month-old puppy. She is here chewing on a bone, so you might hear some crunching sounds. That's her. Also, the neighbor has a muscle car, and he likes to run the motor every once in a while. And of course, he turns it on right as I'm about to record. So if you hear muscle car sounds, that's the neighbor. Anyways, this is episode 46. If you are a new viewer, welcome. I'm so excited to spend some time with you. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you get notification every time we put out an episode. This is episode 46. I don't know if I said that already. But anyways, this is my corner of the internet where I talk about knitting, crocheting, any other projects we're up to, life, books, movies, all the things. So let's get started with finished objects. I finally finished my blanket, so let's get started. Let's just start it. Hi, welcome to the Pearls and Polish podcast. My name is Rachel. I'm your host, coming to you from just outside Sacramento, California, along with the chaotic co-host, Sabine, who's my 4-month-old Schnauzer mix puppy. She is sitting in my lap right now, chewing on a bone. I'm hoping she will take a nap, but we'll see what she decides to do. If you hear some rumbling sounds, that's the neighbor's muscle car. He has like a vintage car that he takes really good care of and takes to shows and whatnot. But every once in a while, he'll like run the motor. I guess it does stuff. I don't know anything about cars. But of course he picks like right now to do that, right as I'm about to record. So if you hear muscle car sounds, that's the neighbor. Anyways, this is episode 46, my corner of the internet where... this is my corner of the internet where I talk about knitting, crocheting, life, books we're reading, movies we're watching, things we're up to. So if you're a new viewer, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you know when we have new episodes come out. But let's get to it. Episode 46, we're going to start with finished objects. So I've been working on my Cozy Comfort Throw for a while, and you guys have seen it in the last couple episodes. I finally finished it. So I decided to do only 12 colors instead of 15 plus the corresponding stripes, like the neutral stripes that went with it. And I'm glad I did, because I was just kind of done. I was just over the project. The original pattern has it calls for you to do an I-cord binding, an I-cord edging. So you like bind off an I-cord and then you edge the other 3 sides in I-cord. And I got to about a side and a half and then decided I don't like doing this and I don't really want to do this anymore. So I took it off because I didn't want to do it. This blanket is going to be in my office at work, just because it tends to be a little cold there. So it's not like I'm gonna have it out on display. Like that's a blanket for me. So I decided, you know what? It's okay to say, muscle car. It's okay to be done, and I don't have to do a bind up if I don't want to. So anyways, I still need to block it. I still need to trim all like the little woven knit ends, but it is finally done. So I got to mark that off of my Q2 goals. If you haven't been here for a bit, I have been setting quarterly goals instead of yearly goals. My brain just works better that way. I need shorter term goals. So one of my short-term goals was I was going to finish one of the blankets that I started last year. So I have finished my first goal for the quarter. My other finished object is my Fight Club project number 2. I'm a part of a long-term test knit for a designer. So I'm doing maybe 4 projects for this large-scale thing. And I can't talk about anything until it's over. I can show you the yarn. So I'll tag the episode where I talk about the yarn. But I can't say anything else other than that. Once the project is complete and I'm given the okay to talk about it, I will show you everything I made and talk about all the things. But until then, I can't. So I call them my Fight Club projects. So I call them my Fight Club projects because the first rule about Fight Club is we don't talk about Fight Club. So anyways, that is done. Very enjoyable. Looking forward to using this item. But I was also kind of glad to finish that project. All right. Next we're going to talk about is whips, works in progress. I have 2 that I'm working on right now. So to kind of like segue one into the other, Summer Sock Camp, which is hosted by the Crazy Sock Lady. It's a participation knit along. So all you do is you just knit socks all summer. There are prizes if you enter it online, either on Ravelry or on Instagram, but there's no sign up, there's no entry fee, you just knit socks for the summer. So I do it every year. I really enjoy it. But I'm trying to like clear projects off so that I can be ready for Summer Sock Camp, because I take my camp very seriously, and we'll talk about those plans a little later. So I've been kind of hyper fixated on projects to get them done. So my Fight Club project, I only worked on that for a good 4 days so I could finish it. So I only have 2 like active works in project, and then I have like my, scrappy Sunday project, but that's an all year thing, so that doesn't really count. So the first one is this bag. This bag was made for me by a swap partner from last Christmas, and it's been holding my project. So this is my Advent cowl, and I was working on it a bit before we started recording, but it is turning out so nice. So this is an Advent I got from last year from Hello Stella. She's a yarn dyer in Canada, and Stella's the name of her dog. That's not actually her first name. So anyways, Hello Stella's the yarn dyer. She specializes in non-superwash yarns, and it sounds like she's transitioning from acid dyes, which is what most indie yarn dyers use, to all natural dyes. So she's like making a dye garden and growing stuff that she can use in her garden. So I'm really excited to see kind of where that takes her. But anyways, this was the Advent from last year. The theme was Pride and Prejudice, the Keira Knightley version, and I have really been enjoying the colors. So I found this cowl, and I'll link it down below. I think it's called the Advent 2019 Wolop cowl, something like that. It's linked, along with everyone else I mentioned today. But you just kind of knit in the round, and there's a little eyelet kind of lace section between each transition. And yeah, that's kind of it. It's written for 24 mini skeins. This came as a set of 12 mini skeins, but they're 20 grams. So you use 10 grams for each stripe. So I'm just going to use each color twice. I don't know what the puppy's doing, but she found something. We're in my kids' room, so she always finds like really interesting things in here. So anyways, we're working well along with that. I'm finishing up color, this green right here is color number 9. I just wound up color number 10, which is this like creamy white color. And then I just have colors 11 and 12, which is this pink and red. And then I'll go back to color 1 and do the whole thing over, and then I'll seam it and be done. I think when I was doing the lace section here, when I was transitioning from 8 to 9, I dropped a stitch, I think, in the lace. So I think I'm short a stitch. So I was planning on doing the lace, doing like the first 2 rounds of color 10 and then recording so I could show you. But I miscounted, so I don't have enough stitches. So I need to kind of go back, figure out what happened, and see how I can fix it, and then, yeah, continue on. So my goal for this has been doing at least 2 colors a day. So I would like to have this done or super close to done by the beginning of sock camp, which is next week. So that is moving along really well. Next, can you not chew on that, please? Thanks. Sabine always picks the like most interesting things to chew on, and it's never like her dog bone. It's the edge of, no, thank you. It's like this little bit of my yarn bag. That's what she decides she wants to chew on. Puppies. All right, next is a test knit. Different from my Fight Club test. This is kind of a one-off by, hold on, let me check my notes. It's by Kelly Fowler, and this is called the Frankie V Sweater. So she has designed this like V-neck collar sweater, and this particular sweater has stripes, but I'm not all that into stripes. So when I applied to test, I did ask specifically, are you specifically looking for stripes? Because if so, then, you know, not for me. But if you're okay with a solid color version of the sweater, then I would love to participate. And she is so sweet. She said, yes, you know, whatever you want to do would be lovely. That'd be great. I appreciate it. Yes. I said, awesome, sign me up. So here is the Frankie V Sweater. I don't have needle stoppers. Why is the dog chewing on that? But let me kind of pull this out. So I started this last week before, and it is coming along really nicely. So first let me talk about the yarn, and then I'll talk about the sweater. The yarn I'm using is by Ruby and the Yarn Co., another yarn company named after the dog. The dog is named Ruby. What is her first name? I don't remember. It's gonna come to me as soon as I'm done recording. But anyways, it's called Ruby and the Yarn Co. And she does this series. This color is called, where's my face? Okay, this color is called Hufflepuff in Autumn. And for the last 2 or 3 years, she's released kind of a small batch collection of her Hogwarts in Autumn's colors. So there's Hufflepuff in Autumn, Ravenclaw in Autumn, Gryffindor in Autumn, and Slytherin in Autumn. And they're just more muted, moody versions of like the house colors. Not a fan of Rowling. I think the things she says is not kind, and we're about being kind to others here. But I do love these interpretations of these colors. So I have all 4 of those. No, that's a lie. The only one I don't have is Gryffindor, and I regretted not getting it. So if it comes out again, I'm getting it. But I have the other 3 in single skeins of fingering weight yarn. 2 are in tweed and 1 is not. But I just love these colors. So I had this as a sweater set. I thought about destashing this particular sweater set quantity a couple times, and I got like super close. I had the pictures and everything ready, and I decided against it at the last minute. And I'm so glad I did, because it is working up beautifully. Let me get closer here. Like, I love how that purple and gray, and you get little pops of like gold, how that is just working together, and it's just gorgeous. So super happy to use this. I had another pattern in mind for this particular yarn. I will definitely buy more yarn to do that other pattern, but I felt like this was a good choice for this pattern because it is more on the, I don't want to say simple, because it's not simple. I mean, this is a V-neck sweater, so there is a million trillion short rows to make this work, which the construction of this is brilliant in the way that you cast on the yoke first, and you don't even start here at the top. You start here and you knit your collar in a 1x1 rib, and there's a whole way on how to make the V shape, and then you do an Italian sewn bind off. So you have that really clean edge here. And then you go back and you pick up your cast on edge to create the back, which is this side, and you do a bunch of short rows. And then you pick up the rest of the stitches towards the front so that you still have like cohesive like stitches. So it sits nicely when you're done. So like the thought process behind this is absolutely brilliant. I guarantee I will make another one of these just because the instructions are so clear. And these are like not final draft instructions. These were kind of like the bare bones, still semi work in progress instructions. And yet it is so clear on what like you're being asked to do. So I have about 10 more rounds. No, 5. I have 5 more increased rounds. So you do like an increased round and then like a plain round. So I have 5 more increased rounds, 5 more plain rounds, so 10 rounds total to finish all of the increases before you split for sleeves. So I'm hoping to have split for sleeves by the weekend. So in the grand scheme of things, priority number 1 is the cowl. Priority number 2 is this. Oh, this is my bag from Matter Roots. They make bags in Maine and I love it. It's one of those where you, hold on, let me do it on this side. You roll the top down and then you have these really nifty little clips and you clip it. I don't know if you could see that, but you clip it together and like nothing falls out. And so I know she has several sizes. This is probably like the medium size, but I've put sweaters in here and they do wonderful. I would love to get at least one more and get like the smaller sizes and maybe another one, but great bags. So anyways, priority number 1 is the cowl. Priority number 2 is the sweater. So while I'm getting at least 3 colors done on the cowl every day, I'm doing like 30 minutes on the sweater and then just kind of going from there. All right, that was a lot on 2 works in progress. Let's talk about Fiber Friends sock swap. So Amy of the Knotted Knitter, and she has a YouTube channel, it'll be linked down below, but Amy and I are hosting the Fiber Friends sock swap. The signups have been closed, partners have been matched. You should already have your partner and have been in contact with your partner. If not, please let me know. And we are in the like send your package section of the trade. So if you are participating in the Fiber Friends sock swap, your last day to ship is May 23rd, which is right before sock camp starts. So if you have not shipped yet, please don't forget. And then with that, if you have not received a package by the end of June or have not heard from your partner or anything, please let me know. I have a whole army of Fiber Friends who signed up saying they wanted to be swap angels. And this is, I say it all the time, Fiber Friends are the best friends. And I mean it because these are people who are saying, if someone doesn't get a package, let me know and I will send them a package. And the fiber community, but despite our differences on different things, you know, as a majority are just very kind. As a majority are just very kind, compassionate people. So one of the many things I love about the Fiber Friends that we have. And the dog is still chewing on my bag. Here, chew on this. Chew that. Puppies. All right. Next is, I have my notes here, which is why I keep looking down. So I write all of my show notes down. And so I'm trying this new format of like how I'm going to write things down and write what I need to talk about. And then when the dog's on this side. Come here, you. Come meet your public. Say hello. Why are you chewing on me? This is Sabine. Yes, she is my puppy. So we have decided that we are going to try and groom her ourselves. She's a Schnauzer mix with some poodle. So that requires grooming. The dogs we had before did not have hair, they had fur. So we didn't have to take them to the groomers. You know, we gave them a bath ourselves, we brushed them, and by we, I mean I trimmed their nails, I did the whole bit. So this is our first time, at least my first time, having a dog that needs to be groomed with like clippers and stuff. So I decided I'm gonna do this my own self because as most crafters, I have that like genetic disposition where I can do anything if I try it. And then I get upset when I don't get it right the very first time. So anyways, I got myself some dog clippers. I've got this like attachment thing so that she can't like run away. I've been watching grooming videos and like groomers, dog groomers who have YouTube videos. I've subscribed to that. And so I've groomed her twice with the clippers. Stop chewing on that. That's mine. This is yours. You chew that. And so the second time around was better as far for all of us as far as grooming. We've been taking it really slow. We've done her paws multiple times, so she does pretty well. But I took the guard off of the clipper, which if you know anything about like dog clippers, they're different than people clippers. So her fur is really short. And then of course, on top of that, I decided I'm gonna try and give her like a schnauzer face cut. And so she looks a little goofy. But it grows back and it'll be fine. So anyways, that's our puppy. All right. I got super distracted. What is next on my list? We talked about whips. We talked about Fire Friends. Oh, summer sock camp. Okay. So I mentioned before the crazy sock lady. Her name is Kay. She has obviously a channel here on YouTube with a very large following. Congratulations, Kay, on reaching your milestone subscribers. But anyways, she hosts, what do you do? She hosts this big knit along over the summer called the Summer Sock Camp. And so I participate every year. I think I only missed the first year, but I've done it every year after that. And so, it's from it's May. I have it here in my planner. This notebook is also my knitting planner. So it starts May 24th, that's a Friday, and it goes all the way till, hold on, August 31st. So that's like a lot of time. I get really ambitious when it comes to like knit alongs and whatnot. So I was like, summer sock camp, I'm gonna knit all these socks. And last year I knit quite a few pairs of socks. So this year I like looked at my stash, I looked at what I had, and I was like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I've been saving this since last year for this summer sock camp. One of the dyers that I frequently purchase from is named Cowl, and she is the owner of Pasley Knits from Canada as well. And she had the seasons boxes last year. So like once a quarter, you would get this box and it had 4 skeins of yarn and had an art print and had tea and a candle, and it would be based on, you know, the season. So I've already knit up 2 of the 12 colorways. I knit those up last year, but I've been saving the rest, and I decided I'm going to use this for summer sock camp. So I have already skeined up the first 3 colors. I don't remember which one is which, but here's one. Here's another one. And here's the third one. And it's in this bag that someone made for me, and I don't remember who it was, but it was a sock swap partner, and I think it was for like in preparation of summer sock camp. But someone made me this bag, and it was wonderful. It was so sweet that they handmade me this bag for camp. And I don't remember who it was. I didn't write it in the bag. But anyways, these 3 colors are called Mini Eggs, In the Meadow, and River Sunsets. And these are all on her coastal sock base, which is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, 437 yards, and 100 grams. So the first 3, which are, I don't know if I mentioned this, these are the spring colors. No, please don't do that. So these are all in my camp bag, like so. In the camp bag are also my 3 sets of needles, a little notebook and a pen, and my little like notions pouch. I'm casting on all 3 for the first day of camp. Let me show you the rest of the colors. I don't remember what order these are in. I know these are summer. This is Bougainvillea. This one is Pool Club. Is super electric. And this one is Lemonade Stand. And then the other one to this collection is Orange, and I don't remember what it was called, but I knit those last year. All right, and then there's 4 for fall and 4 for winter. I don't remember which ones are which. I know this one for sure is fall. This one's called Autumn Leaves. This one's Snowy Forest. I think this is winter. This one is Apple Picking. That one I know for sure is fall. This one is Cabin in the Woods. I don't remember which one that is. I have it all written down in my notes. But did I write that down in my, show notes? No. This is Aurora Borealis. I know, don't eat that. I know for sure that's a winter color. Svalbard, which I believe is a place in Iceland. That for sure is a winter color. Don't eat that. Stick Season. And Winter Walks. I think those last 4 are definitely the winter colors. Hard to say. So anyways, I have 14 skeins. I'm going to knit all 14. Now, you might be thinking, Rachel, how are you going to knit 14 pairs of socks in the summer? That's a lot of socks. And I'm going to say, yes, that is a lot of socks, but I have a plan. So typically when I knit socks, I knit like full length socks. For summer sock camp, I knit full length socks. For these, the first 2 that I did last year, I knit them up as shorties. And I decided, you know what? I don't have enough shorties in my sock drawer. I need more shorties in my life. So I'm knitting these all up as shorty socks. And I'm using the pattern called the Basic Bee Socks by Summer Leigh. Summer Leigh is a sock designer out of Oklahoma. She has a big presence on Instagram. She has a YouTube channel. I've really enjoyed watching her YouTube channel. She's super cool. It's like, I'm going to be you when I grow up. Can I be Summer Leigh? Can we be friends, please? Anyways, super fun. Very knowledgeable as far as like sock knitting and how colors work and what, she puts together the most amazing color combos that I never would have put together. But the other thing I appreciate is that she'll put together like a sock pattern, and it'll be like one sock pattern. And I think it's called like the Little Black Socks or something like that. And it's a very beautifully written pattern. But she also puts together like, it's a pattern, but it's a pattern for like 5 different pairs of socks. So she has the shorty socks, I think version 1 and 2, but it's like, here's your basic shorty sock. Now here's your basic shorty sock with like a fade. And now here's your basic shorty sock with a ruffle cuff. And ouch. And, here's another version of the basic shorty sock. So I appreciate that she, puts the effort in, but then also doesn't give these all as one-offs. Like, it's variations of the same pattern. So I'm doing that. So the Basic Bee is one of her, one of like 5 patterns in this packet. It's linked down below. Also, I just ordered her book, which is her first book she's written, and I'm super excited to get it. I think it comes in tomorrow. So anyways, 14 pairs of socks, but they're all going to be shorties. So you just knit the cuff and then you go straight to the heel flap and gusset. So I'm hoping it'll go by a lot quicker. On top of that, I'm also knitting 4 pairs of like full length socks because like goals, you got to do the things. So I am doing these, which this also kind of falls into acquisitions because this is new. Oh, I'm gonna do this one first. So this one is called Our Solar System Round Trip, and this is by Gage. I think it's Gage Dye Works, also from Canada. I think this is a sign I need to go back to Canada. I've only been once, and it wasn't for very long, but I really liked it. So I should probably go back because I've already mentioned Canada 3 times. So anyways, Gage does a lot of self-striping, fades, don't eat my paper. And they just are very thoughtful in how they do it, and they do it beautifully. So this one is called, like I said, the Solar System, and I kept the card so I could show you guys. So they send you this postcard that explains everything, and they dye up the solar system. So like that's the wrong side. This side, the yellow, that's the sun, and then whatever the planets are that goes next in order, and then all the way this teeny little pink stripe, that's Pluto. And I'm so excited they added Pluto because that's a real planet. I don't care what NASA says. And so they even like put the dark gray stripes are like, they represent 500 million kilometers. The light gray stripes are 50 million kilometers, but only like that little section. So these bigger sections over here of gray, like that represents more. Yeah, so like even how much width each color gets represents an actual number. They did this also with a pod of orca whales, and that was fascinating. I don't have that one, but I want it. So I had this yarn at one point and I gave it away, and I don't remember why, but I got it back. So I'm going to be doing the socks. So if I remember correctly, the round trip, they offer this in two versions, round trip and I think one way. Round trip is, it goes from the yellow yellow all the way to Pluto, and then it goes from Pluto all the way back to yellow to the sun. So that's a round trip. And so you like start from both ends and then you work towards the middle, and then whatever's left in the middle, that's how you put in your heel. So for this, I'm going to knit these both at the same time, and I'm going to put in an afterthought heel so that I don't mess up the stripes. And I'm super excited to cast this on. I already know when I'm going to cast it on. I'm going to be in Virginia for a conference in early summer. So I'm going to be doing a lot of flying because it takes forever to get from one side of the country to the other side of the country. And there's no direct flight. So I'm like connecting flights and spending time in airports. So I'm going to be working on these for those flights. All right, the other one I'm going to do is zebra yarns. Now, fiber friends are the best friends, right? Anna of Zebra Yarns sent me this package. She just said, hey, send me your address. I want to send you something. And I was like, you don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to do that. She said, no, I'm going to send you something. So this came in the mail, and her Etsy shop is on break right now, but I'm still going to link it down below. So get on her like notification list when she comes back. But she dyed this her own self. For those of you who have not been around for a bit, my daughter would say, for my own self, I can do it my own self. And like, that's how she said it all the time. So it just became like a way that we say things. So that's why I say it. And I don't think about it until like a friend mentioned it. Like, why do you say it like that? It's like, oh, because my kid used to say it like that. So anyways, she did this her own self. This one is called Newspaper Print, and it's on her fingering weight, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 437 yards. And I'm super excited. Oh, I didn't tell you how much this was. This is also 75-25 superwash merino nylon, 100 grams, 425 yards, which is so slightly less than this. She also sent me two little white minis. One is not wound up as neatly as the other because somebody got a hold of it and decided to play tug of war. And so I had to like wrestle it out of her mouth and then try and reskein it, and it just doesn't look as neat. And then there's a little zebra stitch marker, and I squealed like a child when I saw that. I was so excited. And then she sent in some tea, which I'm not a big tea drinker, but I do enjoy a cup of tea every once in a while. My husband, also not a big tea drinker. He drinks coffee like water, but now he's got a lot of stress at work. He's like, I should probably stop drinking coffee at night because Like, it's just stressing me out, which is not normal for him. He can and me, we can drink coffee any time of the day and it doesn't bother us. But we made some of this tea and it was delicious. It was wonderful. We're getting really nibbly. Ouch! Can you not bite me? Thanks. And then there was, I'm trying to think what else was in it. There was a highlighter, but it was one of those fun, like you can see what you're highlighting as you're highlighting it. There were some yarn tags, so you attach them to projects after you're done. There was, what else was in there? There was a pin, there was a sticker, there was some wool wash, and it was just very sweet of her to send that. So thank you, Anna, if you're watching. Thank you so much. I'm super excited to cast this on. I don't know how the skein is going to turn out. You know what? Let's do this. We're going to open this up now because we can, right? So you have your skein, and I don't know how this is going to look. So let's pull this out. Sabine has her bone. So I'm guessing with how this is looking in the skein that this is going to be like a self-striping, which I know Anna does self-striping yarn that's white and black, and then it comes with a red mini because Carrie of Stolen Minutes, she is a knitter, she also makes bags, and Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady, they both have bought zebra yarns and it makes stripes. So I know Anna knows how to do stripes. So my guess is, don't eat this. My guess is, stop it. No. Ouch. No. That these are going to be stripes. So you're going to have like black stripes and then like that gray speckle stripe. That's what my guess is. Ouch. Okay, I'm going to really messily wind this back up, which means I'm did you see that? Little land shark, stop that. Which means I'm probably gonna have to cast that on early. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna cast that on pretty soon. So I'm also saving that for summer sock camp. I also have 2 more full skein socks I'm planning on doing. One is going to be from my sock swap partner. That package should be coming in soon. I think she said she stuck in the mail, so maybe today, maybe not. And then one more, which I don't know what I'm going to pull. I'm going to pull something fun. It'll be a surprise for all of us. But that is the plan. And then we'll see from there. If I still have time, I might do a couple more. But, you know, dream big. It'll be great. All right. Acquisitions, we just talked about it, is the gauge and the zebra yarns. So acquisitions, I just talked about them. That was the gauge dye works and the zebra yarns. So we won't talk about those more than that. And then it's just the reading, the washing, and the life. So reading and watching. I finished The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo last night. I stayed up late. I shouldn't have, but it's like, I have like 20 more minutes. Well, 20 more minutes ended up being like 11 o'clock at night. Wonderful book. Not necessarily a book for children. It does describe some adult relationship, you know, adults doing things that, I'm so awkward. So wonderful book. Probably not for children. It does describe the relationship between, you know, male and female in a amorous way. So I wouldn't say it was like super like descriptive, but descriptive enough. So, you know, I'll be aware. But great book. I really enjoyed it. So I started this morning The Magicians by Lev Grossman. Or Grossman? I think it's pronounced Grossman. I have known about this book for years and years and years. I was a librarian for a while in high school and college, so I worked at the library when this book came out. So I've known about this book for years. I love the show The Magicians. I've seen it probably 5 times in its entirety. It is one of my favorite shows. It's not particularly happy. I would say it does, like, I would say it's kind of sad. And it's got some really difficult life things that go on to it, but that's what I appreciate about it, is like it doesn't tiptoe around feelings in life, and I just really enjoy it. So part of me was hesitant to read the book because I enjoy the show so much, but at the same time it's like I gotta read the book. So it's a 3-part series. The first one is The Magicians. I'm only like 10 minutes in, but I like it so far. Watching, I just finished Bridgerton season 3 part 1 this afternoon. If you really enjoy Bridgerton, then I think you'll like it. If you don't enjoy Bridgerton, probably not for you. Also a show that has adult content in it, but you know, be aware. But yeah. Now that I'm done with Bridgerton, I'm not sure what I'm going to be watching. So if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear it. But we're just gonna keep doing the things. And then life updates. I'm trying to see what the dog is doing. Life updates. Sabine, who you have met, she is 4 months old. She just cleared all of her shots. So I don't know if this was kind of universal or if this is just particular to the United States, but they suggest dogs don't go out in public until they have gotten all of their parvo shots and their rabies shots, which makes sense. Parvo is a really nasty disease and it kills very quickly, and there's most of the time you can't do anything about it. So her last parvo shot was 2 weeks ago. We had to wait 2 weeks until it like was in full effect. That was yesterday. So we have gone on 2 walks. She's doing really well for a 4-month-old puppy who has never been outside before, like outside of our backyard. So I have to keep reminding myself, she's 4 months old. She's a 4-month-old puppy. The world is new. She's still learning things. You know, it's a learning process. School is almost done. We're in the last couple weeks. We just had open house, so the kids are very excited that school is ending. I'm sure we will have some really big feelings about school ending as well, but we'll deal with those as they come. And the weather has finally warmed up where we can wear shorts. It is like mid to high 80s, which is like just that real sweet spot. Once we hit the 90s and 100s, it'll be a little toasty, but I love warm weather. I hate the cold in winter. I hate it. So this is like my element. I'm so excited. And that's what I've got. So thanks for joining me. And that's it for today. So thanks for joining me again. And that's our episode. So thanks for joining me and spending a bit of time with me. I had so much fun spending a bit of time with you. I hope that... So that's our episode. I'm going to wrap this up because the puppy has found the stuffed animals and I don't want her to rip up anything she shouldn't have. So thanks for spending a bit of time with me. I had so much fun spending a bit of time with you. I will hopefully see you guys next week. As we get through summer and we have events and trips and whatnot, the episodes may not be as punctual as during the school year. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and you change the setting to get